The film opens on a school bus. Amber Wyatt is drawing in her notebook and being annoyed by her classmate Bowman Lynch. Bowman takes Amber's notebook and finds an unsettling picture that she drew of a creature cutting Bowman in half, causing him to run away in a panic. Later, Amber is taken to the school counselor, Dr. Land, who meets with Amber's father, Taylor, and shows him the drawing. Dr. Land then talks to Amber privately and asks if the boy in the picture is based on a real person. Amber admits it's her classmate, Bowman. It's revealed that Amber uses her drawings to cope with the grief of losing her mother, Ally. Dr. Land then gives her a new sketchbook and encourages her to keep drawing as a way to heal. After this, we see Amber's younger brother, Jack, walking in the woods. He trips and drops his phone into a pond. He scrapes his hand and dips it in the pond to retrieve his phone. When he pulls the phone out, it's broken, but as he starts walking again, he notices something strange. His cut is completely healed, and the phone is mysteriously fixed. Shocked, he looks around but sees nothing unusual. Later at dinner, Jack annoys Amber, causing her to accidentally drop a plate of pizza. Their father, Taylor, tries to clean up the broken plate, but Jack insists he can fix it like he did with the phone. Taylor brushes it off, saying that's not possible, and Jack goes to his room. Meanwhile, Taylor is working with his sister, Liz, a real estate agent, to sell the house. The next day, the kids head to school. On the bus, Amber realizes she forgot her sketchbook at home. She quickly calls her dad, Taylor, and makes him promise not to look inside it. He agrees as the bus drives off. Later, Liz arrives at Taylor's house and reminds him to clear the walls and tidy up before a potential buyer comes. Taylor gathers Amber's things from her room, including her sketchbook, and puts them in his car. But when he accidentally spills coffee on the sketchbook, he rushes inside to dry it. While using a hairdryer, the notebook slips from his hands, and the pages flip open near a fan. Taylor ends up seeing all of Amber's strange drawings. During the showing, his odd behavior makes the buyers uncomfortable, much to Liz's frustration. Later, Amber comes home and learns from Taylor what happened with her sketchbook. Realizing her dad looked through it, she gets upset. After a talk, Amber begins explaining the monsters she created. There's the Blood Eater, a blue creature that drinks blood and vomits it back onto people. The Tattler, a huge blind orange monster. The Stabodons, sharp-beaked birds that love stabbing. The Aiders, which steal people's belongings. And Evil Amber, a creature she designed specifically to attack Bowman. But not all her drawings are dark. She's also created a few kind ones, like small heart-shaped creatures that do good deeds, and a butterfly inspired by Ally's tattoo. Though Amber jokes it looks more like a butt. That night, Jack sneaks out to the pond carrying a box with their mother's ashes, hoping to bring her back. Amber notices him leaving and follows. She tries to stop him, but during their struggle her sketchbook falls into the water. Jack uses a stick to pull it out, and when Amber checks it, most of the drawings have mysteriously disappeared from the pages. Suddenly, bubbles rise to the surface of the pond, and the water begins to boil. Frightened, the two of them run back to the house, only to hear a loud, terrifying roar echoing behind them. The next morning, Taylor goes to wake the kids, but doesn't find Amber in her bed. When he checks the closet, he discovers her sleeping inside. He asks why, and Amber explains that she heard someone tapping on her window during the night, so she hid there instead. Curious, Taylor inspects the window and notices strange yellow stains on the glass, as if something had been hitting it. The kids get ready for school, and Jack tells his dad about what happened in the woods, how he scraped his hand and broke his phone, only for both to miraculously heal themselves. Taylor doesn't believe him, and Jack leaves on the school bus. Meanwhile on the bus, Jack rides with Bowman and their classmates, DeMarcus and Carson. The bus suddenly stops after coming across an overturned car. Miss Thompson, the driver, calls for help when a massive blue smear slides across the ground in front of them. To their shock, it forms into a towering, googly-eyed, two-limbed blue monster that vomits glitter, the very same creature from Amber's drawings. The creature begins chasing after them, and a terrified Miss Thompson tries to speed the bus away. But she loses control, crashes into the overturned car, and the bus veers into a cornfield, knocking her unconscious. Jack checks on Miss Thompson and tries to wake her, but just then the monster appears behind the bus. The kids duck down into their seats, terrified. Amber explains that the creature's name is Dave, and that it wakes up whenever it hears a horn or loud noise. She adds that the only way to put it back to sleep is by playing calming music. To distract the monster, DeMarcus plays a jazzy tune on his phone, which actually lulls it to sleep. Bowman, however, panics and runs off first, leaving the others behind. The rest of the kids quietly sneak out of the bus, but as they're escaping, the song ends and switches to loud rock music, instantly reawakening Dave. The kids take off running as the monster chases them. Meanwhile at home, Taylor starts noticing strange things, like a plate that had been broken the night before suddenly repairing itself. He then gets a phone call from the kids' school, but the line is suddenly cut off. While Liz is busy showing the house to potential buyers, Taylor goes to look for his phone in one of the bedrooms and discovers an eider hiding in the closet. The creature attacks him, but he manages to stomp it out. Moments later, Liz walks in and tells him that his kids never made it to school. Meanwhile, Bowman runs through the woods and comes face to face with a towering orange creature called the Tattler, accompanied by a creepy, siren-like sunflower monster. The Tattler tries to eat him, but Amber and Jack arrive just in time to save him. Together, the kids manage to throw the smaller monster into the water, where it dissolves, before escaping the giant orange beast. They race back to the Wyatt house, determined to figure out a way to fight the monsters. Meanwhile, Taylor and Liz join the police in searching for the kids. Along the way, they come across a strange cat with tentacles, the same creature drawn on the cover of Amber's sketchbook. When Liz tries to touch it, the cat suddenly attacks, flipping their car before darting off into the woods. Forced to continue on foot, they soon spot a flock of stabodons attacking nearby electrical towers and quickly run for safety. Back at the Wyatt house, the kids gather supplies to fight the monsters, using the same materials that created them, like water against chalk and fire against crayon. Before they can head out, a swarm of aiders attacks the house. Armed with water guns, a shower head, and the garden hose, the kids blast the chalk creatures and manage to wipe them out. When Taylor and Liz arrive home, they only find the aftermath of the battle, but no sign of the kids. After sharing a quiet heart-to-heart, they hear a tapping on the window and notice a yellow butterfly, the same one Amber had drawn in memory of Ally. Meanwhile, the kids make their way through the woods, where tensions rise. Bowman lashes out at Amber for drawing that disturbing picture of him being cut in half, blaming her for putting his life in danger. Amber then gets into an argument with Jack, confronting him about trying to bring their mother back by throwing her ashes into the pond. The siblings clash over how each of them is dealing with their grief. Their fight is cut short when they encounter evil Amber, who has been using Sharpies to create even more monsters and tossing them into the pond to bring them to life. Jack tells Amber to draw some weapons to fight with the monster. As she goes to take her back to draw the picture, Monster Amber tries to attack her. Jack arrives and uses flamethrower to stop the creature. The kids battle evil Amber's creations just as Taylor and Liz arrive to join the fight. Jack arms himself with a makeshift flamethrower, while Amber draws tentacles on her arms and uses the pond to bring them to life. Evil Amber turns her attention toward her creator, but before she can strike, Bowman blasts her into ink with his weapon. Feeling overconfident, Bowman then awkwardly asks Amber to be his girlfriend, but she immediately shuts him down. With evil Amber gone, the kids release Amber's good monster drawings, sending them out to wipe away the rest of the bad creatures. Taylor finally finds his kids and sees Jack walking toward the pond. He gently tells his son that he understands what he's trying to do, but reminds him they need to face their grief together instead of hiding it. Jack then notices the ashes have already spilled out of a hole in the box. Taylor pulls him into a hug, and Amber joins, the three of them finally sharing their pain as a family. Sometime later, life has returned to normal for the Wyatts as they begin moving forward. On the way to school, an eider crawls out from behind a tree, but before it can cause any trouble, one of Amber's heart creatures appears and devours it. In this way, movie ends here. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more interesting movie recaps.